Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Hi.
All right. Everybody's looking lovely tonight.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you, Mr. Foreman.
Yeah. All right. I had to get my brownie points early. But I welcome everybody to the show after the game. Today is September 14th. The year is 2022. And as you can see we have a beautiful group of panelists today with Liz, Lacey, and Lashana. What's going on?
Ciao.
What's going on?
All right. We got a good show tonight. And we're going to talk about the
Cheers.
all right, there we go. All right, it's the party now. But yeah, we're gonna get in there and talk about Matt Araiza, the former punter of the Buffalo Bills of the NFL, the National Football League, and we'll talk about a little bit of history and all the backdrop on that situation, and give our takes on that. We also have something special at the very end of the show. So be ready for our final segment. It's something that we have never done before, and so you have to
Uh-oh.
look forward to that. So hang around for that. All right. And
Okay.
in between, we have other news and notes that we're going to discuss and topics. So, man, I am pumped up and ready for this one.
Okay.
All right. So everybody's ready?
Sure.
Let's
Ready.
go.
All right. After the game. All right, we are after the game. All right. I'm gonna pass it over to Lashana.
All right. So, how's everybody doing tonight? We doing all right?
Doing great.
Doing good. Awesome, awesome. All right, so we're gonna start off this evening with our new little segment. We're gonna call it the Hit It or Quit It. And so, like I guess we did it the last time, but like every week we'll come up with some like newsworthy bits that we'll go ahead and cover that's going on and like real short. It's not like a whole thing to get into, but we kind of want to just put it out there so you have that information. So we're gonna go ahead and let Liz go ahead and start off with her hit it and quit it.
My hit and quit it for this episode is going to be talking about the Duke and the BYU volleyball game that happened on August 26th, where Rachel Richardson was allegedly, because there's no proof, allegedly heckled and called the N word by BYU fans. Um, BYU has a section of fans called the Roaring Cougars, the ROC, and Duke was seated. Their bench was right in front of this ROC section, and allegedly, a member of the ROC was yelling, discriminatory terms towards her. Um,
She's
she
adorable.
reported it to her coaching staff. They talked to BYU staff, and BYU assigned a police officer to come stand at their bench. He also went and talked to the members of the ROC who said, "Oh no, we would never do that, and we promise to keep our eyes and ears open in case we can catch whoever did it." But that never happened. And then, as the officer is standing on the side of the bench, he is approached by a fan who asks him, "What's going on? What are you doing over here? Like, what's going on?" And he explains that there's words being yelled at Duke's players that are inappropriate, and asked him if he's seen anything, and he said no. So allegedly, this same fan who came and asked the police officer like what was going on after the game approached Rachel Richardson and asked her, told her, "You better watch your back, walking to the bus or something." And then Rachel Richardson has a godmother who is running for the district court judge in Tarrant County. She took to Twitter and posted her account of what happened, of the incident. And a lot of people on Twitter were real negative towards her, saying that she was just using this to, draw attention to her campaign. And they also said that she had posted questionable materials on her Twitter before, so that counters her credibility on what happened. Anyway, BYU ended up doing their own investigation, which they said included listening to audio from the game, and they can't hear any heckling. They can't hear any derogatory terms being used. So they don't believe that it happened. Originally, they banned this fan from the game, but after they did their investigation, they lifted the ban, and he can now attend sports at BYU.
Oh wow.
Okay, I just want to ask the question of how great is y'all's recording devices that y'all are catching me in the stand saying something, like, you know what I'm saying? If that's the case, I don't catch my husband cheating at a game. Like, y'all can go pick that up if he over with somebody else. Like, what he got on his phone? Like, how are y'all
Your
recording?
husband cheating?
Well, I'm just saying, like, y'all acting like, really? What kind of secret spy business is this that we, like, you know, we use our listening devices to check? Because, like, okay, I'm just saying cheating or whatever, but, like, how are y'all recording people? Like, that's kind of scary that y'all folks that, you know what I'm saying, that well. How great is it what you're doing? One. Two, it's BYU. Come on, y'all know it's good old Mormon country. And,
Right.
you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Not,
mean,
you know, over there, you know, doing things.
I don't
So, you know, and people feel how they feel about folks. So let's,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
You know.
People cheering,
There's-
yelling, whatever. Okay, I'm sorry.
Amen goes right there because I can imagine. Well, here's my question. This is what I'll end it with. Why would she lie? Why is this the lie that she came up with? Why would she tell this lie? Why would she lie? Why would she just say, you know what? We lost this volleyball game, but this happened like in the first 2 sets where she told her coach that this happened. So like, but why would she just be like, okay, we're losing so bad, I'm gonna make up a lie and say they called me the N-word? No. And then if nothing like this happens at the games, why would the officer even go say who did it? Like, you know who did it. You know what's going on. You're not fooling anybody.
Absolutely.
But this sounds to me like another one of those cases where it's like, okay, the police are investigating themselves. You know what I mean? It's like, of course you didn't find anything. What were you really looking for? And as we talked about at the production meeting, there are a lot of different slurs that African Americans are aware of that maybe people who are not African American are not aware of as a slur. Maybe it's something that they use all the time, and you know what I mean? It's like, I don't believe that the young lady made that up. She, first of all, she doesn't have any reason to. She has nothing to gain from it. That's
Right.
like, okay, like, okay, even if you say, well, she just made it up. Okay, so she singled out this one guy who never said anything to her, who is the one that approached the security guard. Why did he do that? Like, what do you like? I see security guards at all kinds of venues all the time. It would never occur to me to ask one of them what they were doing there. It's like they're providing security. I feel like he's telling on himself, kind of. It's like, what are you concerned about? You know, is there a sniper here? Because I feel like if there was, they would have evacuated the building or something. You know what I mean? Look, why do you walk up to a security guard and ask him what's he doing here? That makes no sense. And a lot of times
with this security guard, I feel like it was like you didn't see nothing because you were doing something. You know, that's one of those cases where you didn't see nothing because you were too busy doing something.
Right, or you're too busy doing nothing, or maybe you're watching the game. But unless somebody's like fist fighting, you're not policing what they're saying. If there's thousands of people there, I don't know how many people are in this particular venue, but I'm sure there were enough to where you can't actually pick out who said what. Right. If I was listening to the audio, I don't know if I was concentrating on that area, would I hear something? I don't know. But what I can say is what I said from the beginning. And you cannot trust anybody, any agency that investigates itself and clears itself. Can't trust it.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Agreed. All right, good topic there, sister.
Yeah.
All right, so for tonight, I just want to talk about Trinity Rodman, who is, of course, Dennis Rodman's daughter. She is 19 years old, and she just signed an awesome extension on her contract, $1.1 million, making her the highest paid woman in the National Women's League. She's such a cute little girl. Look
beautiful.
at her.
Wow.
So this is awesome. Like, let's say that like soccer is really trying to lead the way. Like, you know, the women's soccer team really did sue for some equity in their pay. So like her getting this money is awesome. So she'll take home about $281,000 a year, which is up from last year. She took home $42,000. So come on, soccer, let's go ahead and pay these women. And so, like, when you see that, okay, NBA, WNBA, we looking at you. Let's bump up them pay salaries for these ladies.
Wait.
Same work.
Wait a minute. I didn't realize when you were telling me about this that it was a 4-year, $1.1 million deal. I thought it was $1.1 million a year. You're saying you gotta split that out?
Yeah, they split up. But listen, it's still a big But listen,
it's progress.
It's progress. We doing the baby turtle steps. But listen, she had 42, so 42 going up to the 281. I mean, it's a bump. It's good. And so it's a step in the right direction. You know what I'm saying?
It's not as big a step as I thought it was.
Right.
This is barely above WNBA. And she's the highest paid.
They buried the lead in the headline because me too. I was like, oh, girl, no. But it's like, oh, wait a minute.
4 years.
All right, but we'll take it though.
That's all right.
We'll take all the steps.
It's progress. Okay.
Baby steps. So, Miss Lacey, what you got?
Well, I was planning on talking about the other Williams sisters, the ones that play tennis. And I was all ready to say goodbye and thanks for the memories. But I don't actually believe that they're quite retired yet. Serena has said some things about maybe, and I don't know. I don't think they're done with tennis yet. So I will just say to this point, thank you so much for the role models that they've been, good and bad, because Serena can get very volatile. And but I appreciate all that they've brought to the sport for not just women of color, but for women, for Americans, for, they check so many boxes, just by their presence that it is a beautiful thing to see. And they've done so much for the sport of tennis that it's kind of like what Tiger's done for golf. It's in that echelon of just the influence that they've had. And I'm so thankful to have been around for their era. I feel like it's going to continue a little bit longer, but I'm just in awe of them. All Williams sisters are great.
Amen.
I have one Williams sister of my own.
Love it. So what you're saying is you feel like Serena's gonna pull a Brady.
I feel like Venus never said she was done, and Serena I don't think is going to go before Venus, but I think they'll go together.
I can see
that
it.
would be cute though, going out together like you started together. That would be a cute way to go.
It would be so lovely.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies. Now, any final thoughts on our hit it or quit it? Anybody else have anything? Mr. 411, you got something?
Oh, I'm good. I'm enjoying all the knowledge. This is excellent information.
Well, all righty. Well, since we've wrapped up this segment, I guess we'll go ahead and shoot to some commercials. Mr. 411 got for us.
Absolutely. Let's do it. All right. Commercial break coming on up.
All right.
Hi, I'm LaTanya. I'm the owner of Heavily Spa Mobile. I've been in this business 19 years plus. If you're in dire need of a massage for achy muscles, back, neck, shoulder, hip, legs, feet, come on down and schedule an appointment with me. You can't go wrong. There's nothing wrong with taking care of you because no one's going to be able to take care of you. I'm located at 2484 Ingleside Avenue, and that's in Building 8, and that's in Macon, Georgia. Again, you can go online to Heavily Spa Mobile to schedule your future appointment, or you can reach out to me at 478-747-9231. I look forward to seeing you soon.
right, we're back. All right, what's happening next, ladies?
Let's see.
Next, we're going to talk about Mr. Matt. Say his last name one time, sister.
Araiza.
Mr. Araiza. And I'm going to introduce him, and we're going to talk about how he got his rise to getting drafted to the NFL, and then we'll talk about a little bit more stuff he got involved in. But first of all, Matt started off not even playing football. He started off, he lived in Arizona. He was a soccer player, and he loved soccer. He actually decided to try out for football his freshman year in high school because he felt like it had more scholarship opportunities than soccer did. So he signed up for the football team. He didn't even plan to be like a kicker or a punter on the team. He just signed up. Like, he just went to go play football. And on his first ever kickoff, he kicked the touchback, and all his coaches went crazy, and he knew he had him a career in football, right?
Yeah.
So then, after high school, he decided to attend San Diego State University, and he won a lot of accolades and awards there. He won the Ray Guy Award, which is the most outstanding punter in college football award.
Wow.
He won the All Mountain West honorable mention twice. He broke an NCAA record, and he won unanimous All-American. So all of those accolades earned him the nickname Punt God. And he ended his 2021 season winning the San Diego State Bowl with his team. And he opted out of finishing his last year of college, and he entered into the 2022 NFL draft.
Wow. It sounds like he's been kind of an all-American kid, it sounds like.
He's an amazing kicker.
Doing hard work, because that's not easy. Soccer, and then switching over to football. Wow, that's a lot.
Oh yeah, and Liz mentioned that his name, his nickname is the Punt God, and so we're gonna give a brief illustration of the Punt God.
6th round draft pick, his first punt today, and it's a big one. Wow, look at this, to the 15, and it's a touchback. I mean, there's an 82-yard punt.
82 yards. That's
wow.
amazing.
I didn't know what a touchback was. I was like, what's a touchback? But now I know.
Welcome to football.
Like, every day I'm learning something new. That's kind of awesome.
I wasn't 100% sure.
I see why now that, I see now why like punters can make some money. That's kind of that's a skill, y'all. Like, wow.
That punter can make some money. Definitely. Well, he could have made some money. We'll see. But
yeah, and that's
continuing on, like, really why we know him today is not. I guess people would know if y'all are football people. Y'all know him for that Punt God business. But I know him as a litigant in a civil case. All right, so the story goes that also last year in 2021, at a Halloween party in October, he slept with a 17-year-old woman. Like, that's what he would. And I'm okay. So let me stop and say this, because people will say woman, but really she's 17. That's a girl. So let me make that, like, I really kind of want to say that. So a 17-year-old girl. So she showed up at the Halloween party. They were talking. She said that she was already a little inebriated. She talked to him. He handed her another drink. Said he took her around the side of the building and asked her to go and perform some oral gratuity to him, and trying to make it nice. So he obliged.
Yeah.
Turned her around, and he proceeded to have sex with her from behind.
Unprotected. We'll add that.
Okay, unprotected, of course. They went inside. He took her up to the bedroom where she noticed several other people, and he pushed her onto the bed. And for some time frame, they all had sex with her. Now, she says because she was out of consciousness, she just knows that multiple people did have sex with her. She was face down the whole time. She's not sure when it was over. She went outside. Her friends took her home. Said though, like when it happened, like she was bloody. She had blood coming down her leg. Her piercings had been pulled out of her ear, her nose, her belly. all of that. She went to the police to make a report, made the report, and so she wasn't sure who it was that had attacked her, but she knows she was attacked. And so the police walked her through a whole thing, and they did pretext calls. And so with the pretext calls, they kind of have a setup. You call somebody and you kind of engage in a conversation. Now we know that Matt picked up the phone and said, "Oh yeah, girl, we hooked up last night," and she wanted to know if like, should I worry about any STDs? And this joker says, "Oh yeah, that bothers me." Okay, so that part. And then so she said, but in order to catch someone on a pretext call, you have to have them kind of agree to what you're charging them with. So it's like, so what does hooking up mean? Do we have actual sex? Now it clicks in his head that something else is happening, to which he says, I don't know what you're talking about. My name is Matt Araiza, and I'm gonna go. And so got off the phone. So okay, now so she goes ahead. There's a case. The police have it. They're looking into this whole case, and she went ahead and filed a civil suit without any criminal charges being filed. We'll have to give you that bit of information, so you need to know that as well. And now, coming off of that, he says that he is not. Okay, so it was him and two other players on the team. Their names were Xavier Leonard and Nolan Iwalaka. They were both 18. Matt was 21, and the girl is 17. So, like, we need to have all those numbers kind of in place. Now, people have questioned why, and we can talk about that later, about why this civil suit was charged before any criminal charges were brought forth. However, you can do that. It's possible. Two things, like whenever you file a civil charge, a civil case, the level of proof is lower. You don't have to have the same level. And the information was finished. Actually, the was over in August. They turned it over to the DA. So the DA is currently in review of the case. Like the background pieces. Y'all kind of kept up with what I said, but where we at?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think so, except for there was one part, I don't know if you guys could hear it, but when you said when he told her she needed to get tested, she needed to get tested for chlamydia, because it blanked out from what I could hear. So,
yes, ma'am. He
so
said he had get tested for chlamydia. Now,
that's
which
an
is funny
STD.
when you ask, did we actually have sex? And you say,
Right.
Now listen, if we didn't have sex, why would I have to check for chlamydia? Someone explain
Well,
that.
I think that everybody's not sneaky and everybody's not deceptive. So I think she was very green when she made this phone call, and she probably had like high energy, high emotions. So it's not so much that she already asked him, like, really, did we have sex? And he told her that she needed to get tested. You know what I mean? So like, if you say, do I need to worry about an STD? And you say, yes, I have chlamydia, you should probably go get tested. Why would you backdoor ask? So we had sex? No, that's weird.
Okay, I hear you saying it's weird, but girl, I know you've watched plenty of Law and Order. Baby, when they got you mic'd up and they got the wire on you, you have got to get them to say exactly what it is.
No, I'm not saying that she was wrong. I'm saying though that whoever coached her did not coach her properly. Like you already got the confirmation, like kind of. So you pose the question in such a way that you're not saying, hey, so should I get checked for an STD? And then I say, yeah, I got an STD. You should probably get checked, and be like, oh, but did we have sex? Like, are you stupid or are you dumb?
Well, listen,
I already told you we hooked up.
Let's be honest. Like, okay, so he said we hooked up. Listen, if you are over a certain age, do you know what hooking up is? Back in the day when you hooked up, that means two of y'all went to the movies and hit up Sonic. That's when I was hooking up. Or even like I kissed somebody. I was not engaged in any sexual activity hooking up.
Shana, come on, let me take you out to dinner, baby. But I guarantee you tomorrow you won't be calling me asking me, do you need to get tested for an STD because I bought you a cheeseburger.
But you see what I'm saying? It's a generational piece though. Come on now. Like,
I'll give you that.
So old people might not know, but listen, everything was there. It was all there. Everything was there.
And he knew that she knew what hooked up meant. So
I mean, for her to ask that, like, you understand. I understand what you're saying. However, for it to be admissible in court, I'm gonna need you to say you had sex with me. I mean,
Right.
that's
I ain't saying
but,
that.
like, I'm just saying she could have said, well, like, can you get chlamydia from
Oral sex.
mouth games, or did we, you know what I'm saying? She could have, it was just whoever coached her didn't coach her well, you know. They didn't.
well, maybe they don't know you can get chlamydia from mouth games. Maybe they were unclear. They needed to be cleared up as well.
I'm just saying, like, you know, you'd be like, can I get it from being a little top, or like, did we do something else?
Very interesting. We do have a series, I guess, some levels of questions to answer now that we have the full background of the punter and of a lot of what has allegedly occurred. And that will be. I'll go ahead and lay the first one out there. Let me instruct the producer to do that. Okay, good job, producer. Will there be any criminal charges, ladies?
Not likely. Not likely.
Probably not.
It's a circumstantial hearsay case. You say it happened, I say it didn't. I say I was drunk and I didn't remember, and you say you were drugged and you don't remember. So
Yeah. Well, for me, honestly, I'm confused. Like, there's so many inconsistencies here that I am having a hard time trying to follow the train of not so much the chain of events, but like what happened after she says that she went to the hospital, to the police and the hospital the next morning. I don't know which order she went in. Maybe she went to the hospital after she went to the police. Maybe she had already taken a shower. I just don't know. And so, because it doesn't make sense to me that you would present yourself looking like beat up, bloody, and the police just be like, no biggie. Like maybe you should go to the hospital and get checked out. You go to the hospital, you get checked out. Like, what are the results of that? Did she actually get tested for chlamydia? Did she have chlamydia? I mean,
that's a good question. They didn't answer if she did have chlamydia. Now she did go to the hospital. She was checked. So far as evidence, her bloody panties are part of the whole situation. I've seen them. Like, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Like, so I mean, yeah. So they have that. They do have that.
So if there was some stains from other people, some DNA from other people.
There was a whole rape kit test taken, so they have all that information. Now, and I guess like what you're saying, like this confusing part. So she got tested, she went to the police. Now the police are the reason why she did the calls. So I mean, like, that was a whole part of the process. And that's why we started.
Honestly, for me, that part of the process was it felt like, when I just heard about that, I'm like, that sounds like what they call entrapment. Like, what are you doing?
Entrapment, like, for real.
She's making an allegation against him with nothing to go on but her word, and you're like trying to set him up to say something. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
And then my question was, how did they get to the other two?
Well, okay, so this would be, they spoke to people. Who else was there? So like their witness statements, of course, they had to go around and see like who else was involved, or who all, like, do you remember seeing these people at the party? Because I'm sure like more than just the three of them, let's say, you know what I'm saying, were actually questioned, because like that's what it is. Like, I'm confused. I don't know who it was, but I have a list of these are the people that were at the party. So these are the people that you go through and you call. And you do the same call with everyone. So, hey, what happened last night? I don't remember. I was kind of drunk. Like, were you there? Like, what, did I interact with you? Now, think about it. Like, if you're one of the random people that were there, no, girl, I don't, like, no, not me. Sorry. And you go to the next one. So that's how you get to the three. And so, like, based on the conversation they had, they come up with the three people that apparently have said some things that have linked them to her. So, if nothing else, like, not saying that it was forcible, but like, you've agreed that you've had sex with this young girl. You see what I'm saying? So that part is clear. Okay,
well, another statutory rape charge. Like, I mean, because consensually, she admitted that she consensually had sex with him on the side of the house.
Right, and so, but okay, that's the one thing that's kind of funny. And so, you know how consent. So there was never a clear yes or a clear no. We'll say it that way. So she felt that, and so that's where you get sticky, and that's why there might not be charges. I see your face already, sister. But that's why you get charges, because you say, well, I wasn't in my right mind and he asked me, so I just did it. And then he flipped me around. I didn't say no. And then I went to the room. And so like, Now, like the thought would be that she is more inebriated when she makes it to the room and he throws on the bed.
I thought it was like said that he made her another drink before she went upstairs or something. Like that was
Right. So I'm saying like so
Right.
she was more drunk than when she started. You know what I'm saying? And so now like she's like I'm not in my head. Now she did say, but I mean like you have to take what you can. It really is a he or she say or whatever. She said that she was very distraught. She was crying. But she can't. So they asked like, did you say no at any time? Did you tell them to stop? And she says, I can't say if I did or not. So without a clear no, without a clear stop, I'm not wanting this. You know what I'm saying? You have to kind of decide how far you go with the information that you have.
All right. Okay. How have the Buffalo Bills responded?
I didn't get to chime in just yet, sir.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Larry.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us.
I wanted to say, like I said, the more that I looked into this case, the more confused I was, because I thought that the very first order of the day, the age of consent in California is 18. She was 17. And when I was looking at what their statute or whatever it is, there's something in there that says if you're under 18, you can't consent. You just don't, you can't consent. If you like jump on him and start having sex with him, it's still his fault. But when I was looking into it, they had some mitigating factors. Like for the two young men that were 18, it's like if you're that close together in age, there's certain leeway that they give you, where like instead of being a felony, it's a misdemeanor.
Right.
I was looking at that and I was like, okay, that seems weird. But if the person is 3 years older than you or more, then it becomes a situation where it could be a misdemeanor or it could be a felony. So I was like, okay, so the fact that he didn't get charged with either one of those, because that would have been easy to do. You say you hooked up with her, she says you hooked up with her, and that's easy. So, like, why did that not happen? There's something wrong with whatever she presented to them to prove her case, or to, you know what I mean? I don't know what it is because we don't know all the facts of this case. But whatever she told the police when she's 17 and she says I've been raped, that's a no-brainer. You go pick him up. You don't go trying to call him and trap him into saying something. You know what I mean? Like what kind of nonsense is this? I don't really understand where the problem comes in, unless her kid or that she did, and usually it takes a while for those to come back, from what I understand.
Right.
Unless it was completely like you took a shower and you washed away all the evidence or something. Like if she's had relations with these people, her bloody underwear is there for them to test.
Right.
That speaks for itself.
Well, then it also goes into the fact that did they ask her, are you 18? Or did she say, I'm only 17? Like, no. Did she volunteer that information? No. Was that information ever even a topic of discussion? Like,
nope.
He said that she didn't say it to him, but she was at the party saying she was 18 and she was in college. So his
right. So she was
drunk when she got there.
Narrative.
Yeah. So like he was like she said no. I said I was in high school. So it like just depends on who all you were talking to say what that.
There are 18-year-olds in high school, but
there are.
But she was at a place where she showed up already drunk. So you have to kind of assume that wherever she was served alcohol before she got there, she had to have some kind of proof of her age or something. Or
Miss Lacey, no ma'am. People just drink, honey. Like
I know, I do.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you the truth. I was like, by my own admission, I was 16 drunk at the club.
Okay.
With a fake ID.
I can't say that I wasn't, but
I was 16 drunk at the club with the fake ID.
Although back in my day, it wasn't alcohol. It was the other side. But in the case
of Mama watch this show. This
girl, I know, right?
I wish my mom could. But I'm just saying, it's like you're at a frat party or like some kind of a college party on a Sunday night. You don't expect some 17-year-old who's female and drunk, and I don't know. They don't show you who she is, but you get the idea of the kind of situation it was when they're partying and stuff like that. It's like you have no reason to believe that these are high school kids. I mean, I'm not blaming the victim here. in the sense that I don't think that she deserved whatever happened to her. But you put yourself squarely in this situation without a thought. And then the number one thing you're supposed to do when you go out with your friends is you stay with them. You leave with who you came with.
That's right.
If your friends left, then you should have left with them.
Well,
When this guy's, and by your own admission, he wanted you to give him a BJ, and you said okay. You did it. And then he decided he wanted more than that, and you let him do that. I mean, and then you say that you were in and out of consciousness. Okay, like, but there were parts that you remember really well. Like, okay, it's kind of hard to trust your judgment at this point. You're saying, well, he was there. I mean, like, people could have been there, and you could have been acting a damn fool. I don't know. And like I said, I don't think that what happened to her was right, if that's what happened to her. But all of this is she's the catalyst for all of it.
And she knows that. That's the bad part. She understands. She's like, I'm young and I've made a mistake. And she said, like, I can't lie about that. Like, I was somewhere I shouldn't have been. I was drunk and I shouldn't have been. I made a mistake. She says, but my mistake shouldn't be the only one. Like, I shouldn't be the only one that has to pay for the mistake that was made.
Pay for my mistake. That's right.
Well,
All
I
right.
mean, nobody brought any charges against her for being intoxicated when she's underage, did they?
No, ma'am.
Nope.
I mean, I'm just
They
saying,
did not.
when you want everybody to get punished, I mean, you need to take not just a responsibility, but there's crimes that you committed, and it's just, I don't know. When I read about it, it's like there was a big gap between when this happened and when all of this came out, like last month, it came out when he got to Buffalo.
Right.
He seems to be more upset that he was able to get a job in the NFL than about the actual situations. Like I would be mad, like, he's not in jail. I don't give a damn who he works for. He needs to be in jail. But she seems to be upset that the NFL hired him. And it's like,
hold on, Miss Lacey, you're getting ahead of our question now. Hold on.
Yes, and speaking of the NFL, how have the Bills responded? We know how they've done that. He's been released. He's been cut. Conduct detrimental to the team. That's a easy way to do that. And so as a result of that, we're going to go to the next bullet point. We have 2 bullet points we got to run through so we can get to our next commercial break. How has the NFL responded? Do we have any information on how they responded? Not the Bills, but the NFL.
And I was looking for something specific to the NFL, and I just saw the Bills respond.
Bills let him go.
Now, the
Yeah,
only thing I did
anything.
say, though,
and they'll say they do.
huh?
I said, I don't think, once the Bills cut him, he's no longer in the NFL.
Right. And so, but like the NFL, the one thing I did see about the personal conduct. So basically, and I see like the definitions on the bottom rolling on the screen if y'all look.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
as long as any prior acts when he was not affiliated to a team or like going to a team or whatever, he was not hired or a member of the NFL, then they can't necessarily do anything with him until criminal charges are brought.
Right.
So right now that would be if they had a captain, which they could have, it would have been a moot point until criminal charges would have been brought against him.
Right.
And then at that time they could say that's against the NFL's what's it called? I can't think of the name. I'm gonna remember.
What's that? I'm sorry. I was reading.
I know. Yeah. So
That's all right.
if you're not
Okay.
then like they can't do anything. But based on what is the NFL thing, the law? What is the rules for the NFL? What is it called, Tyrone, sir?
The rules. I guess you're going over the NFL, like the NFL conduct. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, but the players union and the league, they have like conduct. There's rules in there that they have agreed to collectively bargained.
Yes, the CBA, right?
You're right, the CBA. Okay, you're referring to the CBA. Very good. All right. You've been tuning into all the shows. All right.
I just gotta pay attention, man. Listen.
Very
Okay.
proud of you.
Game eventually.
All right. Look
So
at
you
you.
already know more than me.
You know what a touchback is, and you know a collective bargaining agreement. All right, that's very good.
I'm good.
All right. Okay, last bullet point, and we got to hit a commercial because we have our final segment after that. But so if you're not, how do you all feel about this? If you're not convicted in the court of law, why do why does the public, why do we expect their jobs to punish them? So in other words, if he's not been totally convicted yet, why is he in the position he's in now with the NFL? Do y'all think that's fair?
I think the NFL, quite personally, this is just my opinion, the NFL has let so much stuff slide that he had to be the example. It was just that so much stuff has happened and he popped up at the wrong time. This case absolutely popped up at the wrong time for him, and they had to make an example out of somebody, and he is the example that is being made. That is it. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't think that if you're convicted in the court of law, you should lose your job, or we should have the expectation of you losing your job. In order to be convicted in the court of law, you have to be proven guilty. You haven't been proven guilty, so why can't you kick the ball 82 yards across the field? I don't understand. I don't agree with that decision. I feel bad for that girl. My heart goes out to her, but I don't think that without a conviction, I don't think he should have lost his job. And that's just this case. I'm not talking about all of them. Y'all know who I'm not talking about. But that's just in this case. There's a whole lot of layers to this case that haven't been peeled off yet. And I don't think in his situation that's not necessarily. Just like she was young and she made a mistake, and we can accept the fact that she was young and made a mistake. He was young before he was ever in the NFL, and he made a mistake. And he hasn't been punished or convicted for it. So he should still be able to have his job. That's my opinion.
I mostly agree, Liz. However, the only issue that I have is like you said, this is just bad timing for him, because the NFL is determined to make examples of everybody who comes after Deshaun Watson. Basically, they're trying to they're just trying to protect themselves. They're not really trying to protect the public. They just want to be. They don't want to be responsible for any of it. As far as losing your job because you got some kind of charges against you, like you said, unless you're convicted, how if it's not a crime, then why would you lose your job? I feel like anybody that if the way that they cut him, although he had a contract that spelled out very, very vaguely about your personal conduct, so that was different. But if you worked at the supermarket and you got charged like this, you know what I mean? You wouldn't lose your job. It's just, so I don't, but professional athletes are high profile and the media is involved, and that's what's driving.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Very good. Very good. Any more comments on that before we roll out?
No.
All right. Okay. Well, look, it's time for a commercial break, and then we're going to come back on the other end and close things out with something exciting, something new, something different.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
That's a lot.
Get ready, Lacey. Your commercial's coming up. Get ready.
No, because you.
Hey, V. All right. Just want to see your reaction there. We'll be right back.
I missed some of it. I had to let my little doggy in before she knocks down the door.
All right. We'll be right back. All right. Check out Gloves Not Guns. Gloves Not Guns. That's a great boxing event coming up this Saturday. All right. Okay. Just a couple more commercials here. Just a couple ads right quick. I'm going to talk a little bit now. Check out Virtuous Reality Company.
Realty,
Mr. 411.
I'm sorry. I don't have my glasses on. Realty Company. Erica Jones. You can reach her at 404-666-5667. That's 404-666-5667. Erica Jones. Check her out. And today, the Panty Platter Boutique. There was a special that was running yesterday, and there's a special running today, and I'll announce that in just a moment. But check out the Panty Platter Boutique lingerie and underwear store. You can go to Instagram @_panty platter, or you can go to the website www.thepantyplatter.com. That's www.thepantyplatter.com. And what is going on right now with the Panty Platter? Tonight, 50% off, no exclusions. And there's an exclusive promo code, and it's 411 Sports World all together. 411 Sports World. The digits 411 Sports World. That is the promo code, the exclusive promo code. Not just a promo code, it's an exclusive one. So tonight, 50% off. So check out the Panty Platter Boutique. All right. So there you go. All right. It's time, ladies. By the way, before we get into that final segment, was there anything that you needed, LaShawna? Was there something that you wanted to mention about the something deal with the Phoenix Suns?
Oh, like really, I was gonna wrap up. So wrap it into this whole thing. How you asked about the NFL kind of policing or not. So the Phoenix Suns owner has been put on a 1-year suspension for which I'm like, this independent inquiry went ahead and saw that there was misconduct. He was using racially insensitive commentary and sexually explicit language. He also yelled and cussed at people that worked for him. And so he's going to have to sit out for the year and the $10 million. So it was asked, so I see this, which is absolutely wonderful. Now, I don't understand. The one thing that made me giggle, okay, so the investigation was not about specifically him using the racially insensitive words or being a misogynist, right? But I mean, that's what happened. But he was really upset about at a game. He said, I don't understand why the black players can say the N-word. And why can the player, he can say N-word, N-word, N-word. It made me think of the Boondocks. Remember the teacher? How you gonna give a fry back? Like, can I borrow a fry? Can an N-word borrow a fry? How you gonna get it back?
I remember the Boondocks.
It amazes me that y'all people feel the need to have to say, to be like, I want to feel like everyone else and say the N-word.
I think the temptation only comes to them because they feel like black people say it freely, so they want to do it too. Like, why can you say it and I can't say it? I'm not gonna say what just came to my mind because it's not appropriate, but like for the same reason I can't call you that. That's why you can't call me this.
Hello, exactly. And you know it's bad here in El Paso. So I'm in El Paso, Texas, and so we have a high Hispanico population, and they feel that they are the same as us. And I promise you that I've heard the N-word out of Hispanicos' mouths more than I've heard it out of black people's mouths. Like, I don't know why y'all feel the need to say it. Like, cousin, you ain't got to. Vato, like, it ain't necessary to call me the N-word.
Why N-word? No,
N-word. But yeah, so like, but the question is this with this little piece. So where is the outrage from people about this man? Like, you know, like we'll be up in arms about these NFL players, which is kind of a funny thing. You know what I mean? Like, we really be armed about this, but where's the outrage? Where are the people that are like, look, we don't need owners who are like owners especially, you know what I'm saying? We be on players or whatever, but why don't we have the same, like, why is there not equity in that business? You know what I'm saying?
They're the owners, honey. They got the money.
I guess you're right.
I mean, it's not right, but it's like, to me, it's like, I don't, you know, people like that guy, he's a rich old white guy acting the way rich old white guys do. I mean, it's not particularly news to me. It's like, it's surprising in some ways that he does it in front of people who, you know, who might report it, you know, because usually they're in a room full of people like themselves, you know. So, I mean, I'm not at all surprised by this. I'm quite sure that it goes around everywhere. There's always some of that. When you feel, you know how it is. It's like you may have one face on when you like at work or at school or wherever, but you know when you home amongst your people, y'all talk how you talk. I have my husband's from Texas. These people talk a lot of smack. I've never heard anything quite like it, but they, you know, amongst themselves they can be free, and I that's exactly the way it should be. I'm not gonna go to work and call Mr. 411 an N-word, you know, even if I might call him that for being a pain in the butt, you know, at home, you know, or, you know, in a social setting, like amongst us. So, yeah. I'm not surprised at all. I'm just surprised that they actually fined him for something. They fined him for a whole year, huh?
$10 million to him is pocket change. So
yeah, he don't care.
You know, they try to act like they did something to him. They're like, come here, let me slap you on your hand. You get naughty.
Well, they have to make sure that they set a precedent for the next old white guy that gets caught doing it.
No, they did that because the N-words were watching. I don't want them to riot in the street.
While you're playing,
huh?
Like, how do you tell a black man about the other black man having the right to do whatever they doing? That's creepy.
All right.
I think it said that he would hear a story that had the N-word in it or a song or something, and feel free to use it to repeat it. Instead of calling it the N-word, he wants to use the whole sound it out, you know.
Okay. Very good, ladies. All right. You hear the music, or do you?
Were you playing us off?
Do you hear the music?
Yeah,
Oh.
music.
All right, it's the last call. The reason why you hear the music because Mr. 401 just rolled in some people for the fashion show tonight, and you ladies are going to be the judges. All right, all right,
okay,
all right. So let's get straight.
Do we pick a winner? Like, do we pick our favorite? Like, do we say who won? Like, who's our favorite? Or
Well, you can make comments on.
1 to 10.
Yeah, you all are just going to grade them right now. And then we'll post a winner on the YouTube page in the comment section.
Okay.
The ultimate winner. But the scale is 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest.
Okay.
And the first person that's going to come down the stage. All right. Lacey, you probably familiar with this gentleman. He played for one of your favorite teams, the New York Jets.
I know who you're going to put up there. And you know, we're wrong for that.
Are you ready? Broadway, Joe Namath.
That is a look. What year is that?
1973.
And then Joe Namath. What's your thoughts on Joe?
It's a 10 for me. Did you see that?
I know he was fly as hell back in the day.
All right. Coming down, walking through the stage now. You know this gentleman.
Okay.
A lot of them call him the GOAT, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady looks like handsome Squidward. What is going on with his face? That's weird. Like, his face, like, he's doing all kind of fancy surgeries and stuff.
What a Fabio.
Fabio?
I mean, he's a decent looking guy, but that's not a great look.
Who dressed him in the dark? That's a 5.
Oh, wow.
I'll give it a 6.
All right.
5.5.
This guy's familiar. This gentleman's familiar with Tom Brady. He was his coach for a long time. Bill Belichick.
Hobo. 1.
He's known for wearing his sweaters and his cut-off sleeves. Bill Belichick with the hoodie as well.
Yeah. That's not
How do y'all like that look?
Not at all.
Give me the negative automatic.
All right.
He was all right. Like, you know, he just like watching football at home on a Sunday on the sideline.
All right. Well, this gentleman loves fashion so much that he said he has to wear 2 outfits tonight for us for after the game. Cam Newton, outfit number 1.
Why does Cam Newton look like he's gonna be out here selling schnitzel?
I feel like he's not yodeling.
Why is he acting like he's going for more?
He looks like a Swiss Miss or something.
He really does. That's a name.
He's giving Oliver gifts.
All right, Cam is back with his second outfit.
Oh, that's better.
I like it.
I can get behind this. So I'll give that one an 8.
I agree. That's nice.
All
I
right.
think it's kind of ruined it, but yeah, that one's pretty solid.
Okay. All right. Next up, NBA player. He's currently on the Utah Jazz. Jordan Clarkson. Your thoughts on Jordan Clarkson?
Wow. That was a very nice first Sunday outfit.
Right,
church.
he's giving first
For church mother.
He's giving deaconess.
Amen. All he's missing is a lovely hat.
And a hat. And that
brooch.
A brooch in the closet.
I don't know what I can say about that.
It's actually not a bad ensemble.
It's just not right on a man.
Somebody grab him up.
Okay. Well, not to be outdone by Jordan Clarkson is another NBA baller. Currently plays for the Washington Wizards. Kyle Kuzma.
Why you got a jacket
Is that
on
a
his
coat?
sleeve? He got a puffer coat jacket for sure. No, I hated it.
I was like,
Definitely a risk taker. Kyle Kuzma. Jordan Clarkson and Kuzma are risk takers.
Wow.
I think Russell Westbrook would definitely be proud of them.
You couldn't give us any more normal kind of people, huh? Nothing?
right, man.
Well, they're into fashion, and they both were.
There's different kinds of fashions. Every bit of it doesn't have to look like that.
Well, you know,
Give us
fashion
something to
has
work with.
Man,
I did. And then the final contestant for tonight, Mr. 411.
You got to be kidding.
Those are some pretty neat spectacles you got on there, Mr. 411.
All right. I appreciate all the tens.
it's giving
Really?
bizarre.
I didn't see any tens. We need to get some of those paddles so you can hold up.
So we know Namath won, right?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
The coat won it for him.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Oh.
He tried to enter into the contest, but
No,
he wasn't dressed.
Broadway
All right.
Joe, he had it going on.
All right. So
That was
we're
a look
gonna-
at the ages.
we'll tally up the scores and then put the official score out there. But looks like Broadway Joe is the leader, closely followed by Mr. 411. And that was a great show.
Let 411 win. Y'all. No.
Listen, let me go on record saying Mr. 411 got rated a 2 for me. If anybody says I gave him a 10, it's a lie.
I'm with you there. It
But
definitely
listen,
wasn't a 10.
strong 2, Mr. 411. It's a strong 2.
That's fun too.
It's a strong 2. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I'm that check I had in the mail going out, I'm going to have to go ahead and make sure I get that sent back to my address. But great show, ladies.
Considering you don't know mine, I'm sure it wasn't coming to me. So I'm fine.
All right. Well, this was a ton of fun. Appreciate you all being on. And for after the game. All right. Till the next time.
Yes.
And we'll announce what our next topic is going to be. And so stay tuned. Hit the like, subscribe, notification buttons. And we definitely thank you all for watching and listening. For Lacey, for Liz,
Cheers.
for Lashana,
There we are.
I'm Mr. 401. Thank you for watching After the Game. Have a good night.
Night,
Cheers.